Today, Wisconsin became the first state in the country to formally condemn Russia's abduction of Ukrainian children during the Russia-Ukraine war. Our Wisconsin State Capitol Bureau Chief Vanessa Kelson has more on what this means for Wisconsin's Ukrainian community.
Put on a virtual reality headset and see the before and after of Russia's war on Ukraine.
Slava Ukraini.
The exhibit is part of an awareness campaign on the Russia-Ukraine war, but for some attendees, no goggles are needed to know war up close.
So I firsthand had the experience of sitting in a hall and just hoping the missile doesn't hit you.
Ukrainians Marina Olinik and Olha Chokolo live in the U.S. now, but much of their families
I miss my dad who can't leave the country. I miss my grandma.
and memories still live in Ukraine.
I had to hide with my family every night in shelters, like there was no electricity during autumn and winter, no heating, no water sometimes, so it was horrible.
Now, on the other side of the world, Wisconsin's Ukrainian community and allies celebrate the state condemning Russia's actions.
It's impactful to see all those people coming together despite the party line.
A bipartisan coalition of Wisconsin legislators introducing this joint resolution on Thursday, condemning Russia for abducting nearly 20,000 Ukrainian children since the start of the war.
These children who should be playing soccer, going to school, being tucked in at night by their parents. Instead, they've been taken, stolen.
Wisconsin lawmakers hope this resolution will inspire the 49 other states to stand up against Russia.
This is not just child abduction, this is cultural erasure, and it is a deliberate attempt to rewrite history and eliminate a nation through its youngest generation.
From the Wisconsin State Capitol, Vanessa Kelson.